Welcome to Us and My Life. Love you and I love you so much. Oh, 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 I just love you. I just like help. I just like help. I just like you too. I just like you. I just love you. Happy New Year! I love you, say goodbye. You're going to school, and that's okay. Yum, 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 yum. I just love you. Good morning.
Happy New Day. It's a wonderful day in Zamunda. Shout out to the wonderful people at Good Sam. I am your host, the Juice Dealer and the Dope Healer, a.k.a. the Juice Lady, Juice God, the GG Show, Dr. Georgette Reynolds, okay? All of the above. And we are here, and we are alive and well. I hope everyone is doing well and doing good and thriving and not just surviving, but doing what they got to do to be great. It is a fall-like day here in Atlanta, and we just here. We're here to be great. How you feeling over there, Mary?
Really well, actually.
Working
on my and I got working on my new my extended certifications for my NLP and hypnotherapy, and had a session done and unpacked a bunch of stuff and actually slept well for the first time in years.
Okay, what changed? Did you add CBD, THC, LMNOP? What'd you add?
I took away all the weight of survivor's guilt and different things and that I went through in the military, and
Good
just
job.
acknowledged the issues of why I was holding on to things. I had my aha moments.
I love that for you. Come on with the aha moment.
And I'm
what
learning to...
go for it. Keep going.
I've learned not to let everything that get to me personally. Because, in our line of work, there's a lot of frustration and a lot of sadness. And you tend to hold on to it and use it as your motivating factor, but you tend to let it eat at you instead of letting it push you forward more.
When you talk about survivor's guilt or survivor's, what are some of those things that you have done to amplify your healing and to get out of those modes? Because, and if you have been under a rock somewhere, you'll know that Mary was in our armed forces, and she was active and survived 9/11. We talked about it a little bit last week, but you really survived it and helped people and had to overcome that. And people don't think that, that's a real thing, honoring that you survived. And it's okay that you survived. It wasn't your time. I got my own bag. I can't see that bag.
The big part that I came to the realization of last night and was part of the reason for survivor's guilt, or at least in my occasion. Isn't the same for everybody, but was because you're afraid to forget. If you move on and you overcome it, are you going to forget that? It gave me, and the other part of it for me was it gave that little ache or that pain, that problem gave me that motivating drive to be relentless and keep, putting my voice out there, trying to fix the problems. So yeah, I hold on to it to have that gut feeling of that problem, so that you keep going, as opposed to worried that you can't do it enough on your own. It's not that, it's not so much giving up, but you don't have the strength to do it on your own. Because the world's a scary place. And when you leave the military, and it's like leaving home. So you don't have that community, you don't have that support right there with you that you grew up knowing. You are alone. Yeah, you've got friends, you've got support, but they're no longer in the door next door. They're, states away or, countries away.
When I say give up, I mean give up like you said, a part of you wants to remember, a part of you wants to forget, and then you turn over like a new leaf and a graciousness for life. The mental impact that is being had on you, even though you are a psychoanalyst therapist, it's something I always say you're doing therapy too. But it's one of those things where it becomes a subconscious versus your frontal conscious, and they're in a constant battle. So that explains why you're losing sleep, having the feeling, probably replaying the event multiple times, right?
Yeah. But, also the other big part was it helped me keep everything shut down. So when you're working with clients or working with people, you're already burying everything. So you're always got that wall up. So it's easier to keep that wall up and stay neutral than to open yourself up.
Understood. So it's a lot like when parents who have these extraordinary children and they don't understand their rights or know how to help them, these things play over and over in their head as to what they could have done or what they could do or how, and then it becomes like an ongoing daily battle that you battle with yourself.
Mhm. And this is, I love how you just transitioned that, actually. I sent you an article that just came out about Johns Hopkins University and Johns Hopkins Hospital have been doing research. They're the cutting edge of what is autism, what causes autism, and all these different factors coming into play. All the theories that I've been operating on for years are now being proven. But when you look at the article, you read the article, and you start reading the parents' comments. And so many people, so many parents, and I don't understand what happened to us in a society. And I don't know, and I'm going to blame a little bit on the women's movement. I really do. In the Me Too movement, only for this reason. Because we have come so far from the feminist movement. We have come so far for freedom. But we have so many people that have twisted it the wrong way to the extreme. If you want to do something a guy does, fine. But do it the same as a guy. Get the extra treatment because you're a woman. Don't expect, standards to be different. But at the same time, why are we tearing down man in order to build ourselves up? You hear so much dogging of the male population in order to build the woman population up. But at the same time, we're becoming, so self-centered in our ways. We're no longer raising our children. And I'm talking metaphorically here. You know, and so a lot of these articles I was reading, one of them was about a lady whose two nephews are autistic, and the parents don't know what to do and how to deal with it, and the kids are so out there that, and the comment is that the mom had to give up her dream job. The kids are crushing their dreams and destroying the family.
And that is so not true. You just have to learn how to adapt and take those same morals and the things that you want to do and make your children see that. And not even make them, but it's all about exposure, right? Take me. I use myself for example.
Communication.
Yes.
You know, there's a line. You know, yes, your dreams may have to be put on hold for a little bit when they're young.
Mm-hmm.
But once you stop putting yourself first, and I don't understand this concept because I struggle with this personally. There's a fine line between putting yourself first, taking care of yourself, because yes, we all need to take care of ourselves, but there's a line between putting our kids first too.
And that's when I think the integration of the two worlds, it can be seamless if you really take into consideration that your children are not broken, they are not damned, they're not, destitute. You find areas where you can really come in and learn your child and learn more about yourself in the process and cultivate these wonderful, brilliant minds to be the exceptional people that we know they are. Because, again, the perspective is they process different. They see the world different. They're experiencing different. They communicate different. And if we just begin to say, well, you know what? Okay, John is showing some different signs than what Mark showed. That's the other kid, because you always compare your children, especially if you have multiple children. When you have one, it's like, oh, I don't know. No, I don't really know. Oh, they're the only child. We tend to make excuses, and we tend to not really want to say what it is. I was that mom in denial. And so,
or even deal with it.
Oh, yeah. Don't even want to deal with it. Don't even want to deal with it. And so it came to the point where I'm like, all right, you're on this journey of finding yourself, and you have this person that solely depends on you because you created this person. They did not ask to be here, although people would argue that our children chose us. And I get that, but they still didn't ask to be born or created. We're not present in the act of creating them. So it comes down to it. It's like, all right, this is what I have. This is what is important to me. How can I help? And like I said, avoidance is the biggest problem that we have in society, because no one wants to say there's something wrong with my child. But everybody has a thing, about a quirk, a way, of something. Every single person. After we had a show a couple of weeks ago, Mary, and we talked about different types of stimming and processing, I realized that damn near over half the people on the planet does something. Whether it's a pop knuckles, a click, a pop chewing gum, or a hum, a rock. Use their hands to talk. When we're talking, maybe we get a little sway in our walk or we pace. Every single person on the planet has a something. But now when it comes down to a neurodivergent, it's being kind of amplified because of the sensory processing behaviors that occur.
It is, but it also isn't.
Okay.
It's like you automatically know. Granted, they do more visual movements, but because it's just the psychological part of it. You notice it more because you know they're different. You're looking for those traits because you know that label.
Okay.
You know, how many times have you talked to somebody and they say, because that's stunning.
Oh.
Their brain is not operating and they're nervous and they're filling that void. They're trying to calm themselves down and figure out that silence. And they're using ums or huh, you know, things like that. That annoy the ums annoy the crap out of me 10 times more than anything anyone else could possibly do. It's like you get to the point and say what you're going to say.
Well. That's because you give speeches and you was in speech major and communication major. So grind the gears.
Well, part of it is, but also it's because I used to do that a lot. And so I was in speech class because of it. And I was always made aware of the ums when I was a kid. It used to drive my mom nuts. It's like, just say it, just spit it out. And the more you yell at them to spit it out, the more ums come out because you get so nervous.
Yeah.
So for me, it's just like, okay, just say what you need to say. Just spit it out. You know, it's just how I was treated, and so it just kind of, you know, comes back. But that's stunning. But we acknowledge it and we accept it on a regular person. You hear a lot of, you know, marketers or a lot of people talking about businesses. You hear it on the radio or TV interviews. Politicians do it all the time. It's to fill the void of silence.
It's a buffer noise word to move you on to the next one, to kind of indicate I'm processing and thinking and talking in real time.
But we accept it. But, you know, a child does something and you notice it because they got the label. It's just no different than like an ADHD kid, you know, tapping on the table with their pencil. You're going to notice it because it's an ADHD kid, as opposed to the kid next to him who doesn't have ADHD does the same damn thing.
Do you think that once we get a diagnosis, we amplify all behaviors and try to equivalate them to the diagnosis?
As a parent, yes.
Yeah.
And what's really sad right now is that we're so concerned about a label. We're looking for, and a lot has to do with COVID, but a lot has to do with the media, everything in our faces all the time. We're looking for problems. Like there was a new article that came out about, is toe walking a sign of autism? When all children walk on their toes when they first learn to walk.
Because that's their gaining their balance and trusting their body to really support them. So they tiptoe. I agree.
You know, some kids, normal kids, will do it, and they will do it so extreme that they actually have to have physical therapy because the muscles in their heel will tighten, and they can't actually put their foot down.
They can't put their foot down, yeah. Because I was always taught that athletes walk on their toes. You know, growing up, he's going to be good, and he's going to be real good in his, I can't even say the word, it's in my head. Athleticism. Okay, close enough. You know what I mean?
Yeah, your balance and things like that. Yeah, and your pivoting, and you know. It's also, if you look at, you know, like women in heels. Wearing heels or walking on your toes actually develops that calf muscle. And I learned that one from a physical trainer because I actually paid big bucks to help me because I have such skinny legs, especially my calves. I loved wearing boots, girly boots, or like everyone used to call them, hooker boots. But because my legs were so little, that they didn't fit right. They weren't tight like they're supposed to be to stand up. And so I was trying to develop that muscle to make my legs bigger. And he's like, you need to walk on your toes.
We do toe up. Yeah, we do co-op.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But from
that's
an
the thing is, exactly. You know, and it's a good thing for balance. It's just kids do kids things. Kids just do weird things.
Because this is new for them. They've never been this person before. They've never had these feelings. There are some stimulation that they've seen parents or different influences that
You're breaking up.
Oh, sorry. Anybody
going through the tunnel.
Anybody who has any child knows that YouTube is this thing, and your child may not be a child that throws temper tantrums. Okay, sorry, I don't know what was going on with my phone. Your child may not be a child that throws temper tantrums, but there's a YouTube video that shows children throwing tantrums and parents giving in. So now your child has developed this behavior. Oh, let me try this with my parents.
This is the bad part of special kids. Because if they don't know how to do something, they will research it.
Girl, Gage pull his phone out every time I ask him a question. He's like, what does that mean? And if I don't come with a immediate answer, he's already pulled his phone out. He's already hit Google. He's figuring it out himself.
So I haven't even got to tell you our new challenge.
Okay, let's go for it.
So David, the 8-year-old little shit, I call him a little shit right now for a reason, because he has figured out how to outsmart the system. So every couple years he has to get the aptitude and the assessment test done. And he's never quite done them right, so we can place him correctly and give him the challenge he needs. He has figured it out. So we've spent the last 2 days doing testing with the school. They come out, and we meet in a neutral ground. We meet at the church, and they work. You know, David, can you read this? He looks at him and goes, yes. Because they didn't ask, will you read it out loud? They asked, can you read it?
Can you read this? And he already just said, yes, I can.
So we literally spent an hour fighting with him and arguing with him to get him to cooperate. Okay. He turns around and looks at the teacher. God bless her soul. She's the sweetest lady in the world. And he goes,
shout out to the educators who enjoy teaching.
And babies don't have to test. Babies don't have to learn. Babies need help doing everything.
Aww.
So he refused to do anything. Then we finally got him to cooperate. And he wrote a sentence down and read it to her. And then he did his math. We're like, write numbers. Do something. Write something. He looks at me and he goes, fine. 1 + 2 is 3. Happy? Then we got him to do some math. So he goes, draw a circle. He draws a circle. Writes circle in it. Corrects his spelling as he's doing it and does his shapes. Finally, just for shits and giggles, I go, can you draw me a rhombus, a pentagon, a hexagon? Draw me something. So he draws a diamond. And he goes, it's a messed up rhombus. Happy now? I get him home, and he looks at me and smiles and goes, ha ha, suckers. I didn't do the test. So the little shit figured out that if he doesn't cooperate, he doesn't do his best, they can't make him put him in higher classes to challenge him. Because we don't know how smart he is. All the teacher could do is smile and laugh and go, you've got a very smart boy. And I go, I know, that's the problem.
Talk about
the problem is that he's smart. The problem is he's smart enough to figure out the loopholes in the system
and how
to make him work for
he
himself.
act a certain way. Yeah. So what it is he's learned how to handle adults. That's what it sounds like.
Oh yeah. He knows what's expected. He knows what he's supposed to do, and he knows to be able to do enough to shut us up, leave him alone, but not enough to make him do extra. With a big smile on his face the whole time. And to make it even worse as an insult to injury, Mom's studying neurobiology. I got a grant and a scholarship from the university to do it. And I failed the test because I got 2 wrong. You have to get an 83. And I got 3 wrong total. You can only get 2 wrong. And he decided he's going to rewatch the video. So I left it on my computer and went to go make something to eat. And the little shit took the test and passed.
Oh, so when he took it because he wanted to take it, he passed it.
Yeah. He didn't think I knew because I went back to retake the test. Granted, I went and retook the test again and passed it. I got 2 wrong. I got the one that I was getting wrong right. But he got 1 wrong. So the little shit already thinks he's smarter than me, which we know he is, but we don't like to tell him that.
Yeah. They're cunning little individuals who are well aware of their intelligence and how to play adults.
Uh-huh. Yeah. My problem is he's 8, not 16. If he's like this at 8, what the hell is he going to be like at 16? I'm done. I'm not going to win, ever. We're just pacifying until he turns 18 and moves out of my house. That's the goal. So literally with the school, we have set up the goal for the year is going to be to get him to cooperate. The word for the year is cooperate. Do things you don't want to do. That's it. Pacify Mom.
Now, when they start to administer these behaviors, and they'll do this to Mom, how does that convey over into school? Because, see, your children are homeschooled, and we're remote learning. I think that's what the term is. Gage goes
the
to
remote
school.
learning.
And I'm at a point where I don't really know how to help him when he goes to school because I'm relying on the community that has been built at school.
Our social worker actually brought up a good thing, and we're going to do it with Ariana. Have you signed Gage up for the Big Brother, Big Sister program?
I have not.
It would be a good resource for him to get outside intervention. He works with somebody, an adult or a kid, a teenager. But to get him to be able to interact in a social setting that's not Mom. And it'll be a different support system. In addition to Mom. We're putting Ariana in it.
All right. And this is do people come and get them? Is it just a program? What is it?
It's a program through the state and the county. People volunteer to basically mentor and role model youth. It was originally designed for like inner city youth of color to help them break the cycle of not going into gangs, things like that. Then it's because it's been such a success, they've expanded the program to kids that, you know, just need that extra help or that extra support. And, you know, it's a good program. Because, you know, I do the research before I let my kids get involved in anything. Yeah, look it up and, you know, I apply for Gage to be in it, and it's free.
Okay. And I'm assuming this is all 50 states, all the things? Yep. Okay, wonderful.
Yeah, the Big Brothers Big Sister program.
I mean, I've heard of them. I just have never really, you know, looked into it.
I didn't either. My social worker brought it up because we live in the middle of nowhere. We don't have a lot of resources and a lot of things for the kids to do. And so she suggested it for Ariana to help her with her social skills and get out into the community more and be around different things without it being just mom. To help with that independence.
I think that it'll probably be a good program to put them in, as long as, you know, it's one of those things where they are really doing what they say. Because a lot of programs, they'll say that they're for our children, and what it is they need a number of our kids to participate in the program for funding.
Oh, no, this is all private.
Okay.
Yeah, this is all done by donations, things like that. It's all volunteer. I didn't think originally it was an option because of her having the label. But they said no. A lot of parents don't realize it's available. I knew about it. I just never thought about it. And I really didn't think it was where we live because we don't live in a rural area or, you know, a suburban area. We live in the middle of nowhere.
Okay.
You know, a lot of people that use it are foster kids. You know, that's what it was kind of designed for. Giving foster kids that stable environment. The one person they can count on. But they've expanded it. And there's a strict, very strict, rigorous background check and everything else that is involved before the big sister, big brother people can actually participate.
So I know I wanted to put Gage in Boy Scouts, but I don't think it's what it used to be back in our day.
It depends on the troop. Some troops are really great about the inclusion. It just depends. I've talked to some troop organizations that, you know, that the kids absolutely love it. They're doing all the stuff they're supposed to. It just depends on who the leader is. But the Scouts in general has got a really phenomenal program, including special uniforms for autistic kids that are sensory friendly.
Yeah, I know a lot of the theme parks and things are definitely going towards the sensory things that, you know, that we're starting to, they have these sensory little rooms or areas that are tailored for our children. So,
but
grateful.
that's it. It's just, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's just getting kids to see outside the box. Getting parents to see outside the box. People getting their heads out of their butts. You know, it's like, you know, so many parents are so focused on giving your child everything they want to make them happy instead of teaching them how to be happy. Giving them the tools to be happy. You cave at everything. And so the minute they don't get those boundaries, those, you know, that they need to thrive, just pacify them. Because happiness is the only thing that matters. In reality, it doesn't.
And I think raising a happy kid is the best thing, opposed to saying like, hey, you know, my child has these differences in this thing, but again, raising a happy kid is the most important thing, because then we can really...
Within reason. Now,
yeah.
Is he happy because he's truly happy with himself and happy in his environment, or is he happy because you give him everything he wants? And this is the problem with happiness. It's such an abstract term, and we deem that if our kids aren't happy, that they're not going to function. And yes, kids should be happy, but they need to understand, one, life isn't fair, and you're going to get mad, you're going to get upset. And so when you give them the tools to overcome obstacles and teach them how to deal with life, and that is what true happiness is. It's being happy for yourself with what you are and around you, and you can make yourself happy without having an external factor making it happy. You know, so many kids get the phones and electronics and the social media, and so their happiness is all on an external factor. So if they don't get the likes, or they get into disagreement with their parents, and they're not happy, then parents cave in and give them what they want, and then it's a cycle. You know, growing up, look back at your childhood. What things made you happy? Or what was it, something you did? Or was it an environment? No, we need to go back to that, where, you know, just having that feeling of belonging, a natural, normal feeling of belonging. You know, spending time with mom and dad, spending time with your brother and sister, just hanging out is what makes you happy. You don't need to have social media and having all these likes and these views to make yourself happy. You don't need the newest, latest toy. And this is the problem with the happiness factor, especially in neurodivergent children. And I actually learned this from a gentleman who is autistic. And he's going to be hosting one of our shows. And so for him, because they interpret things a lot differently than the average person, and he sat down and explained this to me, and this is what his goal of his show is he teaches finances. Because the happiness, feelings are all just hormones, is all it is. And so he learned that buying a car made him happy. But he truly believed that the only thing that made him happy was cars, because he liked that feeling, and it was like a drug to him. And so he spent lots and lots of money on cars. And it took him a long time to realize that that wasn't what happiness was. It was just that endorphin trip. It's just a hormone. And so now he's learned how to make himself happy internally, not externally. And that's what we need to start teaching our kids and be back to the way we used to be, where happiness is an internal factor, not an external factor. Things shouldn't make us happy. Things are irrelevant. Things can be replaced. We need to give them the tools and teach them the meaning of happiness. Teach them how to thrive.
Girl.
And that our emotions and who we are not based on external factors.
Listen, Gage told me he needs me to help him get his driver's license. I was like, whoa. So the fact that he has this mindset that he'll be driving, I think he is also aware that he can do anything he put his mind to, but there are going to be things that kind of get in the way sometimes. But he is ready, to take on the challenges. Because I ask him all the time. I don't know if you ask David and Ariana, like, are you aware that they're different? Not putting the label on them, because we know all of them have spoke against the label. No one is going to be.
Only because we've always used the terms that they know. They've always known their brains are wired differently. That's as far as it goes. So they know that their brains are wired differently, that they're different in that sense, that their brains operate differently. And their brains, because a lot of times that, like, Ariana will ask me, well, how come your face looks like this? Because I don't always show emotions. And I go, Ariana, God made me this way. And then the military programmed me the other way so that I keep a solid face. Unless y'all do something really stupid that really made me mad, or y'all just did something really dumb and I just can't hide my laughing at you, which is usually your brother. I have been programmed to not show emotions on my face, which is a lot of people don't understand as a trait we're taught in the military. It's like Andy made the comment about, watching the changing of the guard soldiers. And he goes, their heads don't move as they walk. I go, no shit, we're not bobbleheads. You're literally taught how to walk so that, and my first sergeant actually made that comment a lot. He goes, you're not a bobblehead, stop moving your head. So when we walk, we are stiff from the waist up. So you can still walk, hold a gun, and shoot accurately because you're not bouncing around. You walk solid. You don't bounce. You don't go do-to-do. Which is part of the secret of how a soldier can tell that another person is ex-military, because it's a walk that we've developed, we've learned, we've programmed, and we don't change it. How you can tell a soldier from a soldier is because of the way we walk. One of the reasons we walk, of how we walk. But they don't know their label, and I'm sure they do now because they hear me talking about it, a lot on everything I do. But we don't ever emphasize the label. We just know that their brains are wired differently. And so, like, Ariana will tell you that we need to go see the brain doctor to rewire David's brain. And I go, why? Because she's like, he annoys the crap out of me. I looked at him and I go, that is little brothers. All little brothers do that. Do you want more? And she's like, no. Wait, yeah, I want more, because so then David can have a little brother to annoy the crap out of him. I go, okay, pray. These kids know they're different. They're not, but it's the fact that you don't emphasize the difference. The part that's sad to me is the kids that come out and say, hi, I'm this person, I'm autistic.
Not even. It's just that, you're a little different.
You wouldn't. True, but there are a lot of parents and a lot of professionals that teach the kids that they are this way because they're autistic. So they own the label. And when you own the label, it's like depression, it's like anxiety, it's like alcoholism. This is part of the reason, this is a psychological lesson, why alcoholism is so hard to overcome, or drug addiction, especially when you go to AA, is the first thing you say is that, hey, I'm Mary, I'm an alcoholic. When you say I am and the label, you're giving yourself that label and identity. It's like saying I'm a cop, I'm a fireman, I'm a teacher. You embrace who you are. And when you do that, it's a part of who you are as a person in your identity in the psychological level. And so it makes it harder to overcome and deal with it because you're going to lose, your subconscious brain makes it think that, oh my God, I'm going to lose part of who I am. You can embrace your differences. You don't need to do it with a label.
I got you.
This is where words are so important, and it's what you say, not how you say it. Which is why we call them gifts and issues instead of autism and stemming and things like that. This is your gift. This is what it powers you. It's your strength. This is what you're struggling with as an issue, because when you create it as an issue or a problem and not put a label on it, it's like garbage that you're throwing away. But when you use the terms like my kid, you have autism, and these kids learn what autism is, and they keep being told this is part of autism, then their subconscious mind automatically puts all these pieces together, so it makes it harder to overcome those issues and adapt, and they struggle. This is why words are so important, and why I always use selective words, such as using gifts, issues, struggles.
Okay. Areas of improvement. I'll give them that part too. I'll say something like that.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because you're not giving it power. It's giving it power when you put it with the label and put it into the category. And you're doing it in a non-judgmental way. It's like telling someone you need to stop drinking because you're an alcoholic. They automatically get defensive because they think you're attacking them. It's the same variation of that. Mm-hmm. And that's part of the problem with a lot of parents with special kids is they read what autism is, and they read all these things, and they expect all these problems, but they expect someone to do it for them and help to teach their kids how to do it. When for it to be successful, one, science has finally proven, it's not just a theory anymore, that what we know needs to be thrown out. You take these kids, you put them all in a room with each other. It's like putting babies in a nursery. One cries, they all cry. They take and learn. Yeah. Did you lose? Can you hear me?
No, I was. Yeah, that is. I think that letting them know that they have gifts and unique talent is important.
Yeah.
But not necessarily putting a label on it. Because for me, I put the label on it and said, you're aware that you're autistic, and he's just like, no, he is not autism. He is artistic. And that was that. It was left at that. There was nothing else to be said. There was nothing else to move forward with. That's it. That's all.
And that's so huge for him. He is so wise beyond his years. Because at a level, he understands things differently.
And
you've empowered him and given
differently. Yeah.
But you've given him that self-esteem that he is great for who he is. And a lot of these kids don't have that benefit, so they fall back on that label. Derek, who used to come on the show a lot, he used the first words out of his mouth were he'd apologize for being autistic, because that's how he was taught.
I do remember him. Is that who'll have the show? Will he be on that show, the neurodiverse show?
No, he is going to be working with a few autistic individuals to help him empower himself. We're creating like a big buddy program or a big brother, so that he's got some individuals to talk to and associate with, to be able to help him relearn that he can be empowered. He has goals, but his environment around him and his support system is what's holding him back.
So, for the person who doesn't have that support, who is listening right now, or for the parent who feels like they don't have the support, what is something that we can do to encourage them?
First and foremost, love your child.
Love is the ingredient.
Love unconditionally. And this is going to be the hardest step, and I literally just had this conversation 2 days ago with a client. And this is going to be the hardest step you're ever going to take. But so many parents hinder their children by doing everything for them. Because one, it's easier. I used to be one of these parents. It is so much easier just to cook something yourself and give it to them than it is to let them do it. It's so much easier to spend 2 minutes cleaning up a mess than it is to wait 3 hours for them to do it themselves. There's a reason why my office is in the basement. Is walk away and give them the space to grow. And let them have independence. Let them make their own food in the microwave. Let them pick up that mess. Expect them. Let them
make the mess. Yeah, let them make the mess.
Yeah.
If they tell you they want to cook dinner tonight, allow them to. Yeah. I didn't mean to cut you off, but you are most definitely right. I definitely have prepared Gage to just do him, whatever that is. Read the instructions on the back of the box. Measure it out and let's make it. I'll stand right here and help you, but I can't tell you.
If you still have questions, ask. We'll help you. Otherwise, Google it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know they're going to Google it.
I have a Google display in my kitchen that I use for my recipes. So
you say, hey, Google, and she responds kind of like Siri, Alexa, right?
Yeah. Basically, it's just a video screen. It's like a mini pad.
Yeah. So, fun fact. I was teaching Gage sign language. I got this video, it's a beautiful video, because I was teaching him about his face. This is your face and parts of the face. And he literally touched his face and said, face, because he was trying, getting his words. He's about 3 years old. He's so cute. And I realized that I didn't know what I was doing, but it was helping him develop by labeling everything, right? And when it came to him, like, grasping stuff and picking up stuff, he would always go and write it out. Like, he would write it first. So because I wasn't trying to make him say things, he would write it out and bring me a piece of paper what he wrote out.
Yeah.
And then I make him read it to me. So just empowering him then, like, I didn't realize what I was doing, but it was something that I was like, this is some type of communication. This will work. This will work. And it,
but that's
and it
part of
grew
the problem. Because you caught it and you fixed it. So many parents rely on all these devices to talk for our kids. And our kids are
but that's
so
how he
smart.
started talking. Yeah, but he started talking, not talking to me, talking to Alexa. We were at the grocery store, and he literally said, Alexa, Oreos. And we were in the grocery store. It was so cute, y'all. I was like, wait, Alexa?
Which is, the problem is when there's still nonverbal down the road, and they rely solely on these things, they become passive. Like anyone else, they don't grow. And so you got to walk that fine line of taking and using words and making them use their words. Don't care how it comes out, just say something. You know, you can't just settle.
And boy, don't we celebrate everything, Mary? We celebrate everything, okay? Everything.
We
Celebrate
do. It's
your
great.
child. Celebrate them and all of their greatness and all of their discoveries and all of their learning. Celebrate them. Don't you like when people celebrate you? Celebrate them.
Oh, I didn't tell you the big breakthrough we had with Ariana.
Come on, let's hear this. Let's go out with a feel good.
She can now ride a two-wheel bike by herself.
She can do something that her cousin Gage cannot, but he can build one. That is beautiful. How did you get that? How did that come about?
She decided it. She was so scared. She's so scared of falling. And so her and Dad were screwing around. She got on the bike and did it. And we've spent years, bike after bike after bike with her, training wheels. And argue with her, try, making her do it because it helps with your eye and hand-eye coordination and balance and all that stuff. And she just got on the bike and just did it. And now she's trying to teach her brother how to do it. And now she's riding the bike everywhere.
And that's the first step. Our big girl is growing.
She is.
Mary, I tell you all the time, but you're such a phenomenal person and an even better mother. Even better mom.
Hey, you are too.
I'm the company that I keep.
We all are. And that's the big thing, is people got to realize and understand that you are the company you keep. When you're in a supportive environment that you can talk about things and come up with ideas and how to overcome, you're going to overcome. If you sit and dwell and you're surrounded by people that sit and dwell,
that's where you're going to be. If you want to waddle around in shit, you're going to be shitty. If you want to get up and clean it up, then you're going to be clean. But only you can prevent you from what? Forest fires.
Metaphorically and figuratively, and literally.
Yeah, for sure.
So we are out of time for today.
Yes, thank you, Mary. A time was had today, okay?
These hours go by fast.
I feel like we only been talking about 25, 30 minutes. But time flies when you're having a good time, speaking the truth, getting the information out to the people, learning, growing, understanding, and most importantly, healing, because we're all on the healing journey.
That's right.
Man, give $1 away, even 2 step back, watch it grow, and see just what it do. Shout out to RG Lorraine of RG Lorraine Fitness. Step back and watch it grow and see what it do. Hold on. The people at Good Sam didn't hear what I said. I said give $1 away, maybe even 2. Step back and watch it grow and just see what it'll do. That means be kind. Give today. Keep pouring, keep sowing, keep growing, because it's going to come back to you tenfold. Yeah, no choice. If you're in the Atlanta area, I'll be dropping dollar bills on windshields today, okay? It's something I like to do. My little seeds, honey, so we can grow and glow together. Come back and join us at noon. Mary, I love you. You're the best Mary I got. Even though Mary Jane is my girl, you're the best Mary I got. That's it. That's all. Keep being great, folks.
We'll see you back here next week. Same time, same place. Bye for now.